I'm Stephanie from SAYF Yoga and Jaya Yoga Teacher Training, and we're going to talk a little bit about low back pain and how we can help reduce the likelihood of exasperating or experiencing low back pain in a yoga practice. So one of the things we need to know when it comes to low back pain is sort of why is that low back pain occurring? So from Utkatasana, chair pose, go ahead and come back to chair, Kelly. Sometimes investigating where your pelvic tilt tends to go, either anterior or posterior, can be helpful for this. So bring your hands to your pelvis, and then move your pelvis into a posterior pelvic tilt, and then move your pelvis into an anterior pelvic tilt. Do that a few times. Does one of those feel like you tend to do more than the other? Or do you feel like you're pretty neutral?
I feel like I might do a little more
anterior? Okay, I would agree. But you also have a really good ability in your body awareness to find neutral. So find your neutral, which you have done. That looks great. When people are flexion sensitive, they tend toward more of a posterior tilt. So show that again, the posterior tilt. Yeah. So the back starts to round here a little bit. So when they come forward and up, they're putting a lot of pressure on the low back, especially if the arms are extended. So we're going to take the hands into the heart. We're going to decrease the levers. We're going to come back to neutral spine. And from neutral spine with the knees bent helps to release the hamstrings. The hamstrings attach to the lower leg bones and up to the sitting bones in the femur. So because of that, if you have tight hamstrings, it pulls your tailbone down and causes your back to round when you come up and down. So by bending the knees, we get a couple advantages. We get stronger legs up and down. We still get that hamstring stretch. And we also are supporting our low backs. So from this chair pose, she's going to fold forward toward an Uttanasana, a forward fold. Nice. So at the bottom, you can go ahead and straighten your legs, feel the stretch. You've got the support of the ground. You have less load on your low back because you have more support. To come back up, she's going to sit back into chair pose. From the strength of her legs, rise back up to mountain. Excellent. Let's do it again. We're going to come back to chair. Bending the knees, releasing the hamstrings, bring the hands in close, short levers because you're taking care of your low back, and then fold back into forward fold. Go ahead and come into Uttanasana, straighten your legs as much as you like, or okay, back up to Utkatasana, that works too, and all the way to mountain. Great. So these are some ways we can come up and down to have less load in the back. Every time you forward fold, so not just here, but even coming from, say, down into pyramid or any other pose where there's a forward fold, we want to make sure that we're supporting the low back with lumbar stability, with Mula and Uddiyana, and we're maintaining a nice long spine and finding that anterior pelvic tilt, which helps us to hinge from our hips instead of rounding from our low backs. This not only is going to help us in our yoga practice, it's going to help us in our daily life. So thanks for joining us. Namaste.